Hey, what's up? You got time for a beer? I think I'll have one. Maybe I'll tell you something about it and maybe something else. Who knows? I'll probably talk about something. Whatever. Um, so this one I got out of my on my beer fridge here. So from my cellar, I guess. I don't think this one's spent a day in my beer cellar, but this one's Hoppy Poppy IPA from Figueroa Mountain Brewing Company. That's another one from out in California. It says, our Hoppy Poppy is a refreshing West Coast IPA brewed with some of our favorite American hops. This IPA is bursting with citrusy hop flavors and a bouquet of floral aromatics. Enjoy this beer as you dream of coastal hillsides dusted with bright orange California poppies. Poppies are neat flowers. My mom has some in her backyard. Yeah, real neat. Let's see, brewed and canned in Buellton, California by Figueroa Mountain Brewing Company. Yeah. See what else. It's got a ABV on here someplace. I don't think so. But I don't think it's the 9.2 that the other one that I've got in there is. I think I've only got one more that I haven't done a video about from out west. So I could look forward to that, right? Then get back to my other stuff. Just drinking the regular beers. Okay. Well, it smells like an IPA. Nice amber color, like that. It's real nice in an IPA. Huh, that'd be interesting. I don't think that's what that is, though. Hop forward, that's nice too. I do like the West Coast IPAs a lot better than the East Coast IPAs because they like to make them all juicy and all fancy like that and cloudy, and I prefer my IPAs to be bitter. Maybe it's just how I am. Who knows? But I like the West Coast IPAs for a long time. I mean, that's the first ones that I had, so maybe that's why I'm partial to them. Who knows? Yeah, nice amber color, which is what you're looking for in a West Coast IPA. A little bit bitter. There's actually a sweet note to the end of the bitterness. Actually, it tastes like it's from the hops, kind of herbal. It's nice. If you've ever bitten into one of those flowers that people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't eat that," yeah, kind of like that. That's pretty much what it tastes like. Believe it or not. But that's also what makes IPAs IPAs. They're strong in general. This could be, it doesn't have a thing. This could be anywhere from like 9 to, oh no, wait, there it is, 6.5. Let's say anywhere from 9 all the way down to 2.7, and it'd probably still taste just like this. But 6.5 is about where you'd expect it to be from one of these kinds of beers. That West Coast IPA, real good. This kind of beer, this beer reminds me of all of those nice West Coast IPAs that we used to get back in the day. Probably the one being here from Michigan would be the Two Hearted. Reminds me a lot of that. This one's a little bit lighter than the Two Hearted, a little bit sweeter probably. Oh, this is a terrible one, but the the hops are a little bit more subtle. They're not quite as, it's not quite as hop forward. So I don't know if that's better or worse or whatever for you, but I like this one. It'd be a great beer to sit around on the patio and drink. Sit around a campfire and drink. But today, it's hot and humid outside, and I don't want to be outside doing much of anything, let alone drinking. Let's see, what does this remind you? What is there a story that this one reminds me of? I don't know if there's a story really that this one reminds me of, but it does remind me of I was driving with my dad up from my sister's place up to Hearst Castle, and there's lots of mountains and stuff, and it's super scenic, going up Highway 1, up the Pacific Coast Highway there. I don't know if that's Highway 1 or not. I think it is, but up the Pacific Coast Highway, really super pretty. And just off to the side between the highway and the mountain and the ocean, there are people that look like they're starting off like from the highway to go on a hike up this mountain. I mean, I call it a mountain because I'm from the middle of Michigan and we don't have things like that here. They go across 127 and it's like, oh, what are all these things that are made out of earth that you can't see past? They're hills. They're hills, but here you wouldn't know what that is because we don't have them really. But yeah, just going up hiking, and apparently like the Madonna ends up that way, and there's supposed to be a lot of really good hiking up that direction. I have not been on a hike really there. We walked out to the beach once. I want to say that was Avila Beach, but I'm not sure if that's where it was or not. Walked out to the beach, but that wasn't really a hike because it was on like a boardwalk. Usually when I think of hike, I think like distance and it's on ground, but like a trail kind of thing. But I suppose if you're hiking on a beach, you're not going to get a real good trail because, well, it's a beach and you don't get trails on the beach. You get water on the beach. Let's see what else. My house is making all kinds of noise today. Okay, so up on the, what else did I have? Well, I mean, I suppose I could tell you a little bit about Hearst Castle. Hearst Castle is a ton of 1920s opulence. There's gold on everything. There's an entire room that's just coated in gold. I don't know if it's really gold, but it's all gold colored. It might be. William Randolph Hearst had more money than he knew what to do with. From what they were saying, like he'd build things and then decide that he didn't want them, so he'd tear them down. It's not like he's making these things so that they'll come down real easy. All of Hearst Castle is made out of reinforced concrete, so there's steel and concrete, and it's really made to not come down. But he just build it and, well, oh, I don't like that, so tear that down, build something else new there. But there's lots of really cool rooms in that house. Interesting rooms. I mean, it's a castle, let's be real. It is a castle. And I always thought that the bathrooms were really neat because like every bedroom you go into, bathroom, with running water and all that other good stuff. So obviously he had money in the 1920s if everything had an indoor bathroom with running water. Because I know my mom didn't get, or my grandparents didn't get an indoor toilet until my mom was like 6 or something like that, which that was not that long ago, 1950s. So lots of money there. But you know, his plan was this to be a cabin. So you go into the dining room and they've got all these super old bottles of ketchup on the table because it's just the cabin. You can do, it's not super formal here. You can put ketchup and mustard on the table just in the bottle. It doesn't have to be anything special. But it's the fanciest place I've ever been in, I think. The really cool one was in the basement, I guess, would be the best way to say that. Like out back there was the pool house, which you think, oh, pool house, like a house next to the pool. No, this one was, the pool was in this house. I mean, it was like 4 times the size of my house, and the pool in this was the entire area pretty much of this place. It goes back in, and there's places to dive from, but you might dive from back in the back of the that you can't get to. Sculptures everywhere, because Hearst collected all kinds of sculptures from all over the country, all over the world, and brought them back to Hearst Castle. Well, they all ended up at Hearst Castle, whether he brought them there or not. And apparently, there are warehouses that are just for storing all of his art that he plundered, I guess. I mean, he bought it, but as far as I know, bought it and brought it back with him, which is, it's crazy how much money he had back then. And then, you get the stock market crash, and then redistribution of wealth, and you don't hear as much about Hearst anymore. Now it's all about Bezos, but he didn't build a castle that people could enjoy for years and years. I mean, 1920, that stinking house has been there for 20 years, or for 100 years at least. Probably with it being reinforced concrete, possibly another 100 more, depending upon how they keep they do the upkeep. Because if I remember correctly, reinforced concrete rusts, the steel rusts, and then the concrete falls apart. So if you keep up with the upkeep, then it should last for a lot longer. But also, there are still arches that the Romans built that are still around in, like, everywhere, up into Spain and down into the bottom of Italy and over into Africa, and building is weird. I was kind of hoping to be able to see what my time is so far, because I'm getting low on beer, which is nice because it's getting to be just about time for us to go. Let's see what else. That was really cool. They talked a lot about on the tour that I took about Charlie Chaplin being there. And if Charlie Chaplin was as athletic as they said he was, and as weird as they said he was, like, not that weird, like, he's a normal dude, but the pools around there are a lot of places that are, like, way up high that you could definitely jump from there's definite places that you could get to and jump from these places into the pools for sure. They're like, you probably don't want to, because right now these pools are not heated, and I was there in January, so they were kind of cold, but not like, oh, it's Michigan in January, kind of cold. It was more like, oh, it's Michigan in let's see where it's lately it's been Michigan in November, where it's like 50 to 70 all the time. But there it's also really dry and super awesome climate and really nice. All the time it's really nice. You can see why these people live in the central coast of California, even with all of the earthquakes and wildfires and all that stuff. It's a beautiful place, and it's easy to live there. It's expensive to live there, but it's easy to live there. Just a little bit left here. That was pretty good. I could go for another one of those in like 5 more minutes, I think. It's the last one I've got here, though. I drank the rest from out in California. I might have left one or two for my brother-in-law, though, too. All right, I'm going to leave you with a quote. Well, probably not really leave you, because I've still got a couple other things, housekeeping things to let you know about. So my quote for today: all adventurers, especially into new territory, are... let's start that again, because I wrote that terribly on the little sticky note I've got there. All adventures, especially into new territory, are scary. Sally Ride said that, and she was the first American woman in space. And it's pretty true. Adventures are scary, especially new ones. So if you like that, hopefully you did. I have no idea if you should or not, because I've just been rambling here for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. If you liked it, which is awesome, you can find me on Untappd, TuberJake_69, YouTube, also TuberJake_69, Twitter, also TuberJake_69, and Instagram, TuberJake_69. This was fun. We should definitely do it again when you've got time for a beer.